What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of the Celebrity Junk. So we now have OGs in the red pill spaces. Although the red pill is a fairly new community, it can't be any older than, I would say, 12 or 13 years old online as far as video content is concerned. And guys like Fresh and Fit are no newcomers to the space anymore. They were in 2020, and now you can say they're OGs. And boy, have they suffered. They've been kicked off TikTok. They built a great podcast that they can't really monetize on Apple. They can't monetize it on Spotify. Where they could monetize it, they messed that up and they lost funding on YouTube. Now they're charging their fans like $35 a month, and this is going downhill from there. They're in complete disarray as a platform. And so now, to keep themselves afloat, you know, they're still dealing with guests, but they dealt with this one guy by the name of Brandon Jamal. Now, this guy is hilarious. He has a website called NowYouASingleMom.com. I've checked out some of the brother's content, hilarious, but he's a young guy, right? So he's a young guy that doesn't really know the severity of what his actions are going to produce. So he's just out there saying anything, you know, just kind of like how I was when I was younger or whatever, right? Young guy, not a lot of life experience, kind of where Fresh and Fit where they were. And now after, you know, losing millions of dollars, they're not as, you know, apt to do the same mistakes. So this guy comes onto their podcast, all right? And he's on there with Tommy Sotomayor, who's the OG of blowing the bag. And you know, the guy has this to say.
The mindset that I'm kind of hearing right now is a little bit selfish.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but you guys are all like saying all this stuff, but you guys are all like my age, and no one's married yet. No one's married. Like no one has an official relationship. Like,
you mean the women or the men here?
Everybody.
Yo, who's the viral here or not? May I speak? What the f? Are we here for these bitches or me and bro? Like for real? Like, can I
think
talk?
if it was only men on the show, I
keep
don't think
raising
it
my
would be
hand
that
and nobody lets me
successful.
talk. You want to hear what this yapping heifer has to say except for the viral? What the f is going on here?
You're corny.
If we finna let these talk all
Brandon,
day, can I
chill
just?
the fuck out, man.
Yeah.
Chill the fuck out, man.
Like, what does he think he is?
Chill the fuck out, bro.
I'm letting you know, I'm leaving.
Right, who is this
All
guy?
right, bro. All right, bro. Just
LOL.
leave. Just leave.
What a cornball.
You're doing too much, bro.
Yeah, I mean,
Sure am, a whole lot.
You're doing too much, bro.
NowYouASingleMom.com. Get your merch.
I'm
Man, get
not
outta
a
here,
single
bro.
mom.
Yeah.
Respect.
You left your diapers. You know they're expensive. You can't. I don't know if you're gonna be able to.
Like a man.
This guy was stocking diapers the entire time. Like, make some
You can tell when
contributions.
somebody never had anything in their damn life when they keep bringing up, I did this on TikTok.
Like you got
I
it.
just keep saying it like this.
Did he make $1 million on
The
TikTok?
shit he's done is
Like,
like that's corny as hell. It's just you can tell he's never done anything. He didn't do any shit in high school. Didn't do anything in college. And the only thing you have is this, and you just keep saying it, and it got ugly and irritating.
so you see there, I mean, he's getting into it with the chick, and I guess throughout the podcast, you know, he felt disrespected. But, you know, after getting kicked off the podcast or leaving the podcast, I mean, you can hear what Fresh and Fit were saying, you know, go rock, get the hell up out of here. He's cursing at them and all that kind of stuff. He actually had a few things to say about Fresh and Fit.
Let me tell you something. Not taking people's shit has cost me jobs in the past, all right? So if I'm not gonna take your shit as your employee, best believe I'm not gonna take your shit. If I'm supposed to be the guest on your ass misogynistic woman-hating podcast, I'm gonna get a haircut. It's my birthday. First of all, I would like to say thank you for all the negative comments on my platforms that I've received due to this Fresh and Fit thing. Because, you know, people stop leaving negative comments on my page because they realize me and my fan base is not the one. So ever since this Fresh and Fit thing popped off, I'm getting all those gentlemen in my comments now. But let me tell you about the Fresh and Fit fan base. These are the kind of men who pay $1,000 to a man to help them with their dating profile. These are the kind of men who pay $35 a month to watch a 3-hour podcast on a Friday night. $35 a month to not watch a good podcast, but to watch a podcast that regurgitates the same talking points. If you notice on that podcast, there were several intelligent women who I didn't call all who had plenty of things to say, but they choose to focus on the bimbo because the fan base of Fresh and Fit needs to feel superior to women in any sort of way because they're the actual misogynists that they're painting me to be.
So then Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews did a video about the guy in which largely he summed it up by saying that the guy was immature. You know, he shouldn't have took it that far as to curse at the lady or curse the lady out. It's a really bad look for the red pill community and things like that. And let me play a snippet of what our brother Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews had to say.
I said at 3:20 p.m. What up, fam? Just saw the FF appearance content. Think I'm gonna commentate to it. Any context or info that you want to have. I waited about 10 minutes and started to create the content. He responded back an hour later. Didn't see this one initially. You should wait until the interview drops. I wasn't in Miami for the FNF podcast. I was there on business and just happened to stop by. Just wait. By the end of the day, you'll have the whole story, bro. And don't you think it's about time we follow each other? Come on, son. And he's right. I was planning on following him, but then he gets a little bit spicy towards the end of this. But just so you know, before the show started, they called me the guest of honor. Okay. And Fresh said it when Myron introduced me. Yet they didn't ask me one question about myself. The only reason I clocked that was because they asked those women about their entire lives. I'm starting to get the sense that he's really not that familiar with the Fresh and Fit podcast. I think just being in the space, I know the general flow of the show and they ask all of the women the backgrounds. Typically the content creators, they don't ask the backgrounds, or at least that I've seen, until the content creators actually have a solo show dedicated to them. Or maybe he feels as though his song makes him such a viral success as well as an expert on gender dynamics that he needed to be introduced properly. Apparently they didn't roll out the red carpet for him as much as what he thought he deserved. Backstage, they told me I was a guest of honor and Fresh said I saved his life. Damn, Fresh. Glazing the young man. He said it 4 times in 10 minutes. Now that I think about it, his song actually came around the same time. Nah, you was single, mom. The whole Fresh and Fit scandal with the Miss Daisy Chen Fit squirting in the lovely young lady, getting her maybe pregnant. So apparently the song brought Fresh through extremely hard times. Just wild if you think about it. Then they proceeded to have a whole podcast with me for 2 hours and not even ask about me once. I appreciate here that he's giving a lot more context to at least what he was thinking at the time. But here's the thing, right? Back in the day, when I would have considered going on the Fresh and Fit podcast, this is years ago, probably like 3 or so years ago, I would have considered it. If they never asked me about me and my personal life, I would not give a shit because I know that I had a job to do, right? And that job would be to sit in front of that camera.
So you hear the guy is obviously pissed off. You know, he's saying that he could have called him before he made that video. Again, I don't know why guys always say that. It's different if somebody knows you, bro. Like if somebody knows you, then, you know, somebody can reach out to you and be like, yo, bro, you know, I'm about to make a video or you shouldn't have did that or whatever. Now, if I know the guy, I'll do that. But in this case, you know, it's not going to be possible because the person doesn't know you. Again, the guy is hilarious. He got some funny songs on there. Check him out on TikTok, man. The dude is hella funny. Like, he's talented. But something that a lot of guys gonna have to understand, man, we're in a situation where you can't be calling women bees like that. You can't be calling women bees. I know guys want to see it, but that kind of going hard on chicks, calling them hoes, calling them this, that, and the other third or whatever. You know, if you even talking about women calling them bees on your platform, that's something that dudes used to do. But you can't even do that now. And you know what I'm saying? It's so bad that even Fresh and Fit was like, nah, man, we got to get the dude up out of here. And largely because the dude wanted possibly, you know, for them to give him some shine. And the dude is blowing up on TikTok, no doubt. I mean, he's going viral. And he felt like, look, well, y'all got me on here. You know, you're not paying me. And you over here worried about who these chicks are. And you're not worried about me. MTR says yes, kind of diva syndrome or a little bit or whatever. But I would just say possibly, you know, the guy is young. You know what I'm saying? He's a young guy. probably not a whole lot of experience in this or how their podcast goes and all this. And, you know, like I said, he'll learn. You know what I mean? He's a young dude. He's blowing up right now. And, you know, we all make those kind of mistakes as we blowing up. And I know he called the girl the B word and all that. But, he gonna have to understand, man. You just can't do that. You know, and in today's world, can't do it. You know, dudes losing all opportunities for that. Ask Fresh and Fit. I mean, these guys lost $1 million behind that. So I just hope that the young brothers out there that are coming up in the content game, you know, talented guys like him, understand, man, you know, you got to find a way to get your point across with talking about people. You can't just go hard like you used to. You feel what I'm saying? And again, the best situation is to ignore people like that. Like, you know, you're going to get chicks that are going to try to pull you out your way on podcasts or say things, which is why I never really do the whole podcasting on red pill issues with ladies, you know, for the most part, because women can be disrespectful, and men can be disrespectful, but you got to understand that if you react to that, even if she is being disrespectful, people gonna look at it as, you're a man, you shouldn't get in your feelings like that. You shouldn't, you know, let that lady, you know, get you out of composure. And if you look at Ice Cube was on there with Vivica A. Fox and Selena Johnson and the rest of those feminists, Claudia Jordan. Man, they were being real disrespectful to Ice Cube, you know, and he kept his composure. You know what I'm saying? Because you only gonna be there for a certain time or whatever, and once the show is over, you know, you can keep it good and all that. You know, you ain't got to go back to their platform and all that, you know, and then you good. But, you know, the way that it looks, it's like, damn, man, you know, you left the Fresh and Fit guys, which I can, you know, understand, you know, them being trash. But yeah, man, you know, you got to know how to handle your situations a little bit better with that. And he will learn that as he gets older. You know what I'm saying? As he gets older. You know, a lot of men got to understand that. Some of the things that we say about ladies that you used to be able to say in hip hop and, you know, be more adamant about bees ain't this and whatever, go hard on the bee. That's something you can say, man. You can't say that stuff no more, man. Women's rights is getting too strong for that. So, you know, like I said, man, just leave them alone. Just leave them alone. If it ever gets to the point where you feel that you need to say certain things about women on a public platform or whatever, and it's that bad, leave them alone. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy Shady Jackson back at it again with another episode of Celebrity Junker. Put you far, you just heard the bell. We're out.